Hello, lovely people, and welcome back to another episode. Please, if you haven't watched the prior pre-market analysis videos, I'll link it to this video right here so that you can follow through to the detailed version of the analysis. So with Euro USD, price ended up doing what I said yesterday to the T. Yesterday I said price would either use the supply. What was price? Yes, I said price will either use the supply to continue the distribution to the weekly support or resistance that was here. I just deleted it, okay, because it has already been used. Price ended up doing so to the T on Euro USD on all the pairs actually. Price ended up using that supply to give this impulse right here. And here there was a news at 1 p.m. yesterday, so it ended up giving this huge volume downwards. But my strategy didn't give me an entry for yesterday to continue on the sales with it. So I didn't take any trade yesterday. But as we can see, Euro USD is still bearish. Okay. The expectancy for today is we are currently sitting at a daily lower low. Okay. And it's also a resistance for the support or resistance for the daily time frame. So it's either price will give a bullish move into this supply right here, or we can get a continuous bearish movement into this weekly high low right here. All right. And when we look at XAU also, exactly the same thing I said yesterday, that, let me delete this, that price was going to either use the supply to give the move back into this demand. And price ended up doing so to the T. So if yesterday we would have waited for confirmation for a sell side setup, we would have literally gotten it to the T. XAUSD is still bearish. XAUSD is still bearish, and also the expectancy for XAUSD, since we've met a demand, will be price giving a buy side a distribution into the supply right here, because in every trend we need a side liquidity. All right, so we are going to, since price is bearish, we are going to use, or we are going to find a sell side liquidity. Price can either use the supply right here to give the continuation distribution, or either give a move into this supply to then decide the fate of the bearish trend. Okay, and also on BTC as I said yesterday, if price validates these sell side liquidities right here, nothing stops price into this supplies sitting above here. And yesterday, price literally did that. Price invalidated this sell side liquidity, gave this impulse to the top bar, not actually reaching the supply. Okay, so now price has then created a buy side liquidity. Okay, so this buy side liquidity is going to be the signal or the confirmation of the bullish trend. All right, so we have this right here. So right now, this is what we're looking at. Price is currently sitting inside this demand right here. Okay, currently rejected it and the low to the T. So it's either price is going to give the bullish impulse from this demand, then upwards. Okay, but if price doesn't do that and price invalidates this low, then every BTC buy has to be on halt for the moment. Do you understand? Because if price invalidates this low right here, if price invalidates this low, that means there's no buy side liquidity again. Do you understand? Price then has to invalidate a sell side liquidity for a buy side liquidity to present itself. All right. Yes. So all these has been invalidated. All these buy side liquidity has been invalidated since we created a new buy side liquidity when we got into a demand. Okay, so we use that buy side liquidity to create another buy side liquidity, and this buy side liquidity is the higher parable side liquidity that can continue the bullish trend for BTC/USD. If that doesn't happen and this buy side liquidity gets invalidated, then nothing is stopping price from heading down to the very low. Okay, if we get to the very low, the expectancy will then be the price will create a sell side liquidity for a bullish side, a buy side liquidity to invalidate it for us to then look for our buys into our supplies. All right, so BTC/USD is currently bullish and in a buy side liquidity, and we need volume for price to continue. If price doesn't and the low gets invalidated, then BTC is bearish. So XAUSD currently bearish, but sitting inside the buy side liquidity or giving an impulse from a demand. All right. So we then have to find a supply or a sell side liquidity first for the decision to be made there if the bearish move is going to continue or not. EURUSD also continues bearish. It has created a big sell side liquidity, right? So anywhere from here to here is a sell side liquidity. So price will then have to come and find the sell volume to then continue. So this sell side liquidity will then make the decision or decide if the bearish move wants or has to continue. So that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. I'll be very happy and very grateful if you like, you subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you once again, and see you in the post-market breakdown. Peace out.